I'll talk to Rivers State Resident Electoral Commissioner Obo Offanga, who joins us live from Port Harcourt. We saw the commission releasing a notice of election almost immediately after Mr. President's ascent. Talk to us about if there's been any major impact the delay in an ascent has had on INEC's preparations and operations ahead the big one in 2023.
Okay, thank you very much. So like you said, we've issued the notice of election already, which means that we're already implementing what the new Electoral Act says. There are some opportunities in the Electoral Act for us to conduct election in such a manner that there's a higher credibility in the process. And there are quite a few of those provisions, like we had said in the news report there, where we talked about where election result is declared unwillingly, or where we find out that there's a mistake or fraud in the process of declaring a winner in an election. INEC now is under the law allowed to review such declaration. There is also the provision that talks about transmission of election results.
Hold on, Mr. Offanga. Let me take it back to the one you just referred to. I think you're referring to Clause 65 that now allows INEC review results declared under duress. I'm a bit curious about how you define, a situation of duress and how you confirm it within the period of time.
Okay, so let's look at what may have warranted this provision of the law being added in the first place. At the end of the last 2019 general election, we had a particular instance like that, where the returning officer, in making a return, said he was doing so under duress. Now, what that means, if that were to happen under this act, INEC can, on the basis of that, review to see if actually the person made that declaration under duress.
But how do you confirm that such a situation happened?
That's what I'm coming to. That's what I'm coming to. And what it means is that even if the person says he made the declaration under duress, the returning officer says that, it gives INEC an opportunity to review whether in fact that declaration was made under duress. But more importantly, to also review whether the declaration was right in the first place. So if we can find out that the declaration was wrongly made, there was a fraud in it, that the results that was announced was not the true result, then INEC has a leeway to review that.
Okay.
Under the previous Electoral Act, once a declaration is made, INEC's hands INEC had no hands again in it. You can only go to the tribunal to ask for it to be reviewed. And so this provides an opportunity for us to review any a situation where there is fraud within a given period of time. And I think that this is helpful for the democracy, because if we had allowed what's happened in the previous election, that law or the decision of the court to now guide us, it would then mean that in an election, all a candidate needs to do is to find some means of ensuring that the returning officer makes a declaration in his favor.
Absolutely.
And then that's the end of
I get your point, Mr. Offanga. And you're saying that INEC will now rely on the authenticity of the result, as it were, to determine the way forward. With the new law, INEC seems to have a legal backing to now electronically transmit election results. And that's what quite a number of people are excited about. But what are your concerns about the performance of the BVAS in latest election and the issue with the issue with logistics with the commission? There are still complaints somehow about how effective this technology is. How optimistic are you that all of this will be fixed before the general election?
Well, I'm optimistic that we will be able to overcome some of the challenges we are finding with the BVAS, which is like a teething problem. We just started using this device, and if you observed the outcome of the elections, the by-elections over this weekend, there were fewer complaints about the BVAS not working. So I think that with time, and we have more elections coming up this year, that we'll be able to overcome whatever the challenge is. Some may be technical, some may also have to do with the personnel that are using these devices. But I think that the elections that were held over the weekend have shown that there were fewer complaints compared to what happened in the area council elections in FCT earlier in the month.
Obo Offanga, Rivers State Resident Electoral Commissioner, thank you for talking to us tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you.